Welcome to The Warp. I'm Jack Rita. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 green alert aliens that are good negotiators, at least insofar as they are able to get themselves into deal situations pretty easily, with varying degrees of success and for various different reasons, depending on their abilities and effects. And because you can get yourself into a deal situation, I think that you should use these aliens to do just that, get into a deal. Everyone thinks about getting into a deal for colony exchange, and definitely do that, but don't forget, you can often get more out of that deal, either getting some more cards or getting rid of cards that you don't want anymore. And so anytime you get yourself into a deal situation, think about that. Use that full minute. Try not to use the full minute. See if you can wrap things up in about 30 seconds, but say, look, let's do the colony exchange, but I'm doing you a favor here. I need something in return. And most players will go for it. So let's take a look at these aliens, what they do, and why they are pretty good negotiators. We're going to start with a very unlikely character, and that is Barbarian. And Barbarian, let's look at what its effect is. It's offense only. And so you have the power to loot and pillage. As the offense, after you win an encounter, before compensation, if any, is collected, use this power to loot your opponent's cards. Take your opponent's hand and look at it. For each ship you have in the encounter, you may choose one card from your opponent's hand and add it to your hand. Afterwards, discard the remainder of your opponent's hand. So this is a very devastating alien, which is why it is only offense only. And if you've got a great hand of high attack cards, most likely you're going to say, sure, let's just go in there and obliterate somebody. But because players know that you can do that, and if you can play up your swagger going into that encounter, you can sometimes get people to agree to getting into a deal situation instead of having their hand decimated by the Barbarian's looting and pillaging effect. So this is a good negotiator because Barbarian can strong-arm their way into a deal. Now, there's always a chance that the other player is just going to screw you and say, yeah, I'll make the deal, and then they don't. And you'll just have to file that away into the meta game where you're like, all right, now I know that I can't trust you, and you should know that when it comes back around, whether it's this game or the next, I am going to destroy you. And you should definitely let them know that will be the repercussions if they don't get into the deal situation at that time. So this would good negotiator, but not without risks. And if you've got, the attack 30, the attack 40, or what have you, maybe you just go for it and make an example of the first player. And then on your second encounter, you go for the deal. See if that player will go for it. But if you're going to make an example, you really do need to just take the good stuff, throw away everything else, and then say, now, who's going to make a deal? All right, let's go on to somebody who is a little bit of the opposite there, and that is Bleeding Heart. Now, Bleeding Heart can actually create deal situations for just about everybody, but let's take a look at the effect here. Power of Rapport. On any encounter, before allies are invited, you may use this power to say, let there be peace. If you do, all attack cards with a value of 10 or lower become negotiate cards when revealed, and all compensation is doubled. Now, Bleeding Heart can do this on all the encounters, but a lot of the times you may want to just do it when you're a main player. And this lets you get into a deal situation a lot more easily, because a lot of times somebody wants to make a deal, but they just don't have that negotiate card, as crazy as that may seem. But in those situations, they usually have a low attack card. I've got an attack 8. I've got the attack 4, which I don't want to have to use. But now they can get into a deal situation. So this is another one where, again, you're going to have to trust that the other player is going to do it. Now, you do have the safety net of the doubled compensation. So if they do pull one on you as a Bleeding Heart, then you're going to be able to at least get extra compensation out of it, presumably. So that's a little bit of a mitigator, but the fact that you can make deals happen more often, take advantage of that, and again, get some good stuff out of those deals in addition to the colony. All right, this is an alien that a lot of people don't even think about in terms of making deals, and that is Chosen. This is in the base game, and I should mention that Barbarian's base game and this is from Cosmic Eons. So Chosen, let's look at Chosen. Power of Divine Intervention. As a main player, after revealing encounter cards, you may use this power to pray for divine intervention once per encounter. To do so, draw 3 cards from the deck. If none are encounter cards, discard them and there's no further effect. If you draw any encounter cards, you may choose one of the drawn encounter cards to replace your revealed encounter card, which is then discarded. If you have revealed an attack card and choose another attack card for divine intervention, the new one can either replace or add to it. And all other cards are discarded and blah, blah, blah. So most people are thinking of Chosen as a way to turn a loss into a win. And that's certainly a big part of its design, especially the fact that you can add one of your divine intervention cards, if it's an attack card, to a revealed attack card so that you're potentially doubling or beyond the value of your attack strength. But I like to look at Chosen as the player has revealed a Negotiate card, and I did not, and I used the Divine Intervention to see if I can fish a Negotiate card out of the deck and then put myself into a deal situation, especially if I'm on the defense as Chosen, because you don't get anything for winning on defense most of the time. So here you can get yourself into a situation where you're like, all right, let's make a deal. And I like to use that as a way. Chosen, unlike most of the other aliens, can say ahead of time, yeah, sure, let's make a deal. And they can play an attack card, knowing that if the other player tries to hose them, then they have been hosed themselves. But it is risky because Chosen could be the bad guy in the situation. The worst case scenario is you have won the encounter and you're going to be giving compensation. But there's always a decent chance that you can draw a Negotiate from those 3 cards. In fact, whenever I'm hoping to get a good attack card to win an encounter as Chosen, I inevitably draw a Negotiate. So keep that in mind. It is good for getting compensation when you're otherwise going to lose as well. Now, here's an alien that has a nice big safety net when it comes to trying to make sure that the other player is willing to make the deal, and that is Decoy from Cosmic Odyssey. So this one, Power of Contingency. As a main player, before encounter cards are selected, you may use this power to play an encounter card face up on the sheet. During the reveal phase, after you reveal your normal encounter card, you may choose to swap your encounter card with the card on the sheet. And then after the encounter, the opponent decides what to do with the card that was not used. They either take it, they discard it, or force you to keep it. But the important thing here is that if you are trying to get somebody to agree to make a deal, you play your Negotiate card face up on the sheet, and you let them know, there it is. I've got a Negotiate card. I can make a deal as long as the card that you reveal is a Negotiate card, then we'll find ourselves in a deal situation. But the card that I'm going to play face down is not going to be a Negotiate card. So if you try to pull a fast one, then we're going to be fighting it out, and we'll see who wins. So Decoy is especially well armed to signal that they're willing to make a deal and honor that if they wish. Now, Decoy can of course, decide not to use that Negotiate. But again, I advocate strongly for get into the deal and then try to get more out of it than just a colony. All right, here's an alien that can make deals happen pretty easily, and that is Empath. Empath, Power of Harmony. This is from Cosmic Conflict. As a main player, after either main player reveals a Negotiate card and the other player reveals an attack card, you may use this power to change the revealed attack card into a Negotiate. So, you as Empath can play and reveal Negotiate cards without having to worry about anything. If the other player doesn't play the Negotiate card, you can always turn theirs into one. But just like with Chosen, when they reveal a Negotiate card and you have revealed an attack card, the instinct is to just win the encounter, and maybe that is what you want to do. But keep in mind, you have leverage now, so maybe you go for the deal and try to get more out of that deal. So get the colony, or get anything if you're on the defense, but get into that deal situation very easily with Empath. Now we have Oracle from the base game. Oracle, very much like Decoy, will have all the knowledge they need ahead of time. So, power to foresee. As a main player, before encounter cards are selected, use this power to force your opponent to play their encounter card face up. And then after you've seen what they're going to play, then you select yours. So you can say, all right, let's make a deal and show me your negotiate card. And then you know that you can then play and reveal a negotiate card. So Oracle can get into deals very easily, provided they've got those negotiate cards. And of course, that's going to apply to just about every alien here. But if you've got them, you can say, look, let's make that deal. And we can both get something out of this. I'll get a little bit more because I'm the one that is going to ensure that we are in a deal situation and nobody is backstabbing anybody else. So take advantage of that. Pacifist, also from the base game, can get into deal situations very easily. They've got the negotiate cards. They know that they can win the encounter outright. Power of Peace, as a main player, if you reveal a negotiate card and your opponent reveals an attack card, use this power to win the encounter. If both are revealed negotiate cards, you make a deal normally. So the players are incentivized to play negotiate cards against you because they can't beat your negotiate card otherwise. And when you're making that deal as pacifist, try to get more negotiate cards as part of that deal. Give them, say, I'll give you the colony and you'll give me a colony, but I want a negotiate card as well if you've got one. Otherwise, I'm just not going to play nicely from here on out. Sorcerer can get into some deal situations in kind of a fun, weird way, also from the base game. Power of Magic. As a main player, after encounter cards are selected but before they are revealed, you may use this power to switch encounter cards with your opponent so that they reveal your card and you reveal theirs. So here you can say, look, let's make a deal. You play your negotiate card and I will switch and make sure that we're going to get in a deal. So Sorcerer can play a negotiate card and switch and know that they're either going to be in a deal situation or they're going to win the encounter. So Sorcerer's got a lot more leverage and flexibility, some safety. As long as they've got a negotiate card, they know they're in good shape and they can do the switcheroo and get themselves in a deal situation. And what you do is you just let the player know. You say, look, I'm going to be playing a negotiate card, so let's make this happen. Get into the deal. Now, of course, somebody could cosmic zap you, and then you're in trouble, and that's going to be true for a lot of these aliens. But all things being equal, you can get into a deal situation, and you should do it. This is an interesting alien for fishing for somebody to make a deal with, and that is Will, also from the base game. So it's the power of choice. As the offense, after you draw from Destiny, you may use this power to encounter any alien on any planet of your choice instead of encountering the alien mandated by the drawn Destiny card. And this lets you target somebody's foreign colony. So what I like to do is I say, look, I'll flip the Destiny card and blah, 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 but who wants to make a deal? Because I can just come right to you. And then what you do is you point the hyperspace gate at one of their foreign colonies. You say, just as a gesture of goodwill, and by which I mean to say, look, don't tempt me. Let's make that deal. Otherwise, you're going to lose a foreign colony. And maybe not this time, but again, like with some of the other aliens, you think about the metagame. You say, look, I'm coming at you. We're going to make this deal, but if you try to pull one over on me, I'm just going to be going after your foreign colonies from here on out. So be aware of that. And then finally, we have kind of an interesting play on this whole thing, and that is Xenophile. Xenophile is from Cosmic Conflict as well. The power of welcoming. As a main player, after both main players reveal attack cards, use this power to add or subtract 3 from your side's total for each foreign colony in your home system. You do not lose this power for having too few home colonies. So Xenophile doesn't have any special way to make deals. And in some ways, players may be a little bit leery about having colonies in your system. But again, you need the foreign colonies to win the game. So with Xenophile, you want as many people as possible to have colonies in your system. Now, you can just lose the encounter and let them get in there. But you should let them know, hey, I'm willing to make the deal. Let's make the deal. And in this case, you can sweeten the deal by giving them some stuff, because in the end, you want to have those players establish the foreign colonies. Now, if somebody is coming at you with a lot of allies, that's a case where you just want to go ahead and lose that encounter, because then you've got several players establishing a foreign colony, and that's going to make you really strong. But anybody that's like, well, I'm going to come at you, but I don't want to necessarily bring along a lot of other people because that's going to make you more and more powerful, then you are well positioned to say, why don't we make a deal? When we make a deal, then it's just you establishing a colony here, and I'll get a colony out of it as well. And when they come at you like that, then you don't have to necessarily give them so much in that deal. You could maybe get something out of it as well. Maybe a little card exchange. Nothing extravagant, but again, sweeten the pot a little bit. So that's it. Those are 10 green alert aliens that when I play these aliens, I am looking to get myself into deal situations, even more than normal, and I'm always looking to get into a deal situation if I can, because again, I like to get more than just that colony. Let me know if you've got a favorite deal-making alien in the green alert zone, if it's any of these or somebody else that you like to use. Again, any alien that you can intimidate the other players is an alien that can make a deal, so keep that in mind. I will look at yellow alert and red alert aliens that can make deals in future videos. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.